again. There we go. Oh, wrong button. That one.
I was looking at the, I think it was the farm sim guy was doing a review of the Harsh map.
Mm-hmm.
That big field.
Yeah.
When 68 hectares or acres, I can't remember. He may have had it on English settings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, big.
Yeah, I was watching Game of Dragon on there, and he did one headland and two used the starting equipment. No mods was active, and two
Well, yeah,
two
'cause if they're
combine
showing,
loads to empty.
if they're showing it off, they generally can't use mods.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, the early access, so they've been showing it off.
They have to show it with just the kind of the giants thing, like.
Yeah.
But
And
that'd be an interesting multiplayer thing, like.
yeah.
I think get a big harvester, the biggest possible harvester, get a couple of biggest possible harvesters,
Mm-hmm.
run the fucking trucks and trailers, or a couple of wagons, or the wagon things. I mean, that's calling for that big Australian bin.
Yeah, it is the one, the truck with the underbody emptying two
No,
bays.
yeah,
Hey,
but you get
Roger.
the big grain bin, the field grain big, the big massive
Oh,
huge one.
yeah, yeah.
So you have you have like a big case or something, pod track on that.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Two
crazy.
or two or three harvesters going around the field, and
Yeah.
then somebody drawing the double trailer with into the like from that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what that field is called. Massive multiplayer setups. Like you're talking probably 2 million's worth of just equipment, and I think the field is 15 million to buy as well.
No, there's nothing going in there. It's being cleared
So,
out.
That's a lot of money.
but you know something, just playing that as a session in multiplayer with a lot of people on would just in itself be that's proper multiplayer. Like.
Oh, yeah.
And you get to use the big equipment that you're never going to use on your own.
Mm-hmm. In fact, that field, what is it, field 9, isn't it? That
Well,
would go
well,
with
that- well,
Big
that-
Bud.
Well, yeah, that's
Big
that,
Bud territory. But what I was looking at when GD was streaming it was, remember when we came out of the yard and every tree you'd get stuck on? And as
Yeah.
I said, we had to delimb them. It'd be interesting to see how you going out, how that will be now. And he got out no problem, no having to delimb trees. And I'm like, finally. But I couldn't
yeah,
remember where the silage clamps was.
they're not on it. I don't think
But there is a BGA on there now.
there is a BJ. There's a couple of the new there's a couple of the in-game big ones. I don't know if they're the big ones or the little ones.
Yeah,
But
it's the big ones
So there's
over at the
two-
BGA.
I think there was two of them in the BGA.
Oh, I only saw one. But he didn't go in the BGA. He was looking from a distance, and I could only see the
Yeah.
one.
I would say two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're fine. You could have probably put it more in if you wanted, because they snap together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have the big drive-through ones anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that means you can't drive through with the big road trains either. But
Yeah. And you can't sell any of the buildings. The
That's
yard,
fair enough.
the yard is the yard.
that's fair enough. It's a harsh map.
And did you see the little brick wall in the middle of the fucking yard?
No,
There's a nice brick wall in the middle of the yard, and you have to go around it. And it's very low. It's only a couple of feet high, if that. So
probably a genuine brick wall in the middle of the yard.
yeah. And I was like to GD, can you get rid of that wall? And he went, no. He tried,
But
and he was like, no. And I was like,
Is
oh.
is that not part of the character? It's a harsh
Mm-hmm.
farm map. So why would you want it to be changeable?
Mm-hmm. True. Certain patches didn't grow. Okay. Well,
That's as I said, that is a multiplayer thing that has been a multiplayer since forever.
yeah.
They don't grow or grow slow.
Yeah, these two patches where the seed has been put down, it's gone back down, just haven't grown. It's got the first
Alright.
stage in, but nothing. And it
Yeah,
looks
but you
patchy.
remember all along we used to have that issue with things not growing as you get further on in multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That you end up with patches, half fields growing and whatnot.
It's good yield though. I haven't done a full headland and on 5 and combine's almost full. And they sold, I think it was 14,500 litres.
Then we'd bring the truck up to you. Where are you?
Field 5.
Is that the one up in the corner, or is it?
Yeah, the one where the, what was we doing, cotton on here? The big one.
Why is this trail? Or did I just disconnect it? Why's the truck not attached to the trailer?
I always disconnect it because it's leased.
Alright, but if you're not in it, it shouldn't be using it. Shouldn't clock up the hours.
Okay.
Like if you're not in the truck, I don't think it clocks up the hours.
They've been very scarce on trees now. In certain areas.
Oh, this is the field you're on now. Where are you?
To your right, all the way over the other side of the field.
Yep, you're going clockwise, aren't you?
Yeah.
Jacking you.
That's the one thing I hate about that truck. Touch the brake and it just jackknifes.
I didn't touch the brake. I full
Oh,
power
okay.
going. Full power doing a spinny.
Well,
And the trailer
didn't like that.
trailer decided it wasn't turning as fast as the truck was. Trailer wanted to keep going in a straight line.
So I was thinking because it's the Porsche map that maybe have it that we start off with the starting equipment on there and then add the
I'd
money.
say, yeah, I mean, or just start off with the starting equipment and no money and go from there. Transfer the money to another map after.
Well,
So
we're
just-
on the thingy one after that. Oh, God, turn it on, haven't I? Does help. We're on the one with the carrots and on after that. The premium is premium.
But that's not out till November. That's another September, August, September, October, November. That's 4 months away, like.
We're on this one for another month. We finish this one the end of August, and then September, October.
All right.
Oh yeah. And then we'd have to. Well, we'd be on the horse one for a little bit longer than 2 months because we'd have to wait for the other one to drop on the 14th of November. Unless we took a little break before then. It's entirely up to everybody else.
But as I was saying, set up a multiplayer some Sunday and just do a freaking harvest on, not potatoes, obviously, like we did the last time, but a big grain harvest on the big field or something. Because you're not going to buy that big field with the money we have, like. And you don't start off with it.
Yeah. GD was doing contracts on that. Took him a while. He didn't,
would say-
obviously, with one combine.
I would say you'd get a good price for a contract on it, like.
Oh, yeah.
I go into that map, and if you buy it, like, well, 15 million. If you have the 15 million to buy it, you'll have made your 10 million as Steam achievement. Cut that field, like harvest it, plant it, cultivate it, spray it. You only need 100 hectares for your achievement. So if you do that twice within the same within the save game, like, you'll have your achievements for all them as well.
Can you do that in multiplayer now? Get the achievements still?
I don't know.
So now in 19 you had to do it in single player, didn't you?
I think I've possibly got some achievements in multiplayer, but not all, like animals and that you don't get. But I'm sure I got the Balaam one in multiplayer.
Okay.
But that's something even in single player, just fucking have the map and
Yeah.
do it yourself. Like just do a couple of harvests in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like take a week to fucking harvest on your own, but
Yeah, but then you've got courseplay, haven't you, that you can use. But doesn't it count with courseplay?
I
Don't
think
think.
it did. I think it's actually in 19. It did work with hired helper. So if it worked with higher helper, it just put you get a load of combines and
Mm,
stick the combines on harvesting. You could do the drawing, like even, do you know what I mean? Even just in game with the in-game equipment,
yeah.
and not necessarily cosplay or whatnot. Just put like it's a big field. If it doesn't quite get the edges, you can tidy that up after.
Mm-hmm.
And the size of the field, the few bits at the edge it's not going to get will be 5% you don't actually need.
Or I guess you could always set courseplay up so it's the truck and have it so it'll come up, you call it, and it comes up, empties you, and then drives off, parks up, and then when it's full, empty into your silo.
I'd prefer to be the one doing the harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I prefer the one not to be harvesting.
Mm.
I'd prefer to be driving the truck.
Okay.
Like you set it up so just have hired helper, in-game hired helper, turn off crop destruction. Try not to drive on the crop, but that you can if it comes to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because GD went straight through the middle to half the field and obviously had to empty about halfway down through there. And
Oh, I didn't even get a line in it, like.
about wide it is.
Yeah, courseplay with that should literally cut out a bit beside it, and then you drive down and the harvester will have cut into the row beside it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have crop destruction off, like I said. You try your best not to, but if you have to drive on it, you have to drive on it. Or you could set up courseplay that it goes around in circles so that it doesn't actually... So it's always on the outside kind of job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if plant barley back in these fields, it means 6 days, so it won't be ready until Saturday next week, and it won't. We don't have to worry about it withering. It'll be fine for 1 day.
Right, that shed is now empty.
So
The other one is more or less full. One shed I clicked on. Sell. Yes. Do you want to sell? Yes.
next
Okay.
we got no grass fields up here. Nothing
No,
for, no
that's-
reason for it to be up here.
That's what I'm saying. We have no animals. We have no nothing. There's no need to have them up here. If we need a second one below, we can put a second one below. Like that one now is more or less full. I think there's 241 and I have 5 bales here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nearly at the 250.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no need for them to be up here. And then they're together. And if they're all the big ones, and you just take them out from there, take them up to the sell point, which is actually only... The bale sell point is only just up the road.
Yeah.
I did drop the price a bit, I think, but...
Yeah, it'll be fine now. It'll go back up. But I did extend that field there, so on about extending.
It's still the most best price. I was just getting less for some of the newer or some of the trailers than I was at the start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the truck is parked there at the side of the field where you're unloaded.
Yep.
I'll be up there in a minute now because I'm just finishing this last load of bales.
Okay.
Well, last load, 5 bales.
It sold it 69,000. I think it is,
Trailer.
isn't it? Yeah.
50... Does it hold 6? Oh, like, that's the bigger crampy. Yeah, that's the new cramp. That could be 6. How much do you hold in that?
14,500.
I'll get
And it's 25%, so...
yeah, so you
yeah.
get 4 loads in, so... That's 60,000. 59, I think. So
Yeah.
I had in my head 59.
Mm-hmm.
Are we even making hay with that tether?
No, we don't even need that anymore because we're not making hay. There's no reason for hay. That can go.
I'd dump it back. I'd take it back to the garage so and sell it because I can leave the bale trailer. I can leave the bale trailer down here by this here because that's where it's needed. Oh, so we have 200. Or we've exactly 200. It must have been 245. Exactly 250 bales in the shed. All 5,500.
Wow.
So when the grass that's cut ready to be baled, when that's done, the second shed can go in there opposite the other one. As in, if you put them
Facing
kind of
each other.
facing each other, and then you just drive up and down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And with that tree thing, probably go along the side of the road and take out the trees
Yeah.
that are on the. You do get stuck in them, as I found out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to have to drive between them.
So, Aldridge is proving to be interesting to port over.
Well, you're doing 15. I mean, there's a lot of changes from 15. Do you not remember when we done that silo in Maypole from 15 to 17 and we had to change the textures? We changed the barrels to those fillable silos and we changed all the pipe work to black.
Yep.
Wasn't that 15 to 17?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because you got rid of them in 19 then, didn't you? You got rid of that shed that you used to drive through in 19.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm
So
probably,
I'm assuming Aldridge has the same issue, or that it has the same issues with textures.
mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is, because obviously it's not going to be published or anything, it's only for Reefy, and I'll obviously send it off for BP as well. I'll take mods off the mod hub and then build them into the map and have it all read from the map, so then they don't have to download anything with it, it's all there.
Yeah.
And then and build it as close to what Aldridge originally was.
And when we just give you the mod folder we have then from 17 or from 15 with all the mods to go with it, then you can convert all them as well.
No, I don't do vehicles and equipment. That's a headache.
Yeah, I know. I've tried converting stuff.
That's a
and
migraine waiting to happen.
yeah, I tried converting stuff for myself, and it was like, yeah.
Because on the water tankers, because I thought those fuel tanks, 'cause it's like a big, what we have in 22 is a fuel tank. I'm like, fuel tank? I'm all over the place, but there's gas station there as well. And I clicked on the trigger and it was like, oh, water buy point. Okay. So that's go into
For a
22.
water pipe.
Yeah, go into 22, port the model over into 22's version of the same thing, and then delete the 22 model, and then because it's all placeables now, isn't it? And put that into the map,
Yeah.
and I've got to put that as a placeable.
But you have to download FarmSim 15 to get the map working, so you know what things are.
Yep,
Or does it show up in GE?
I've got it in GE, but I've got the 15's editor. I've got all the editors for every game. So I have GE for 15 open with the original Aldridge, and
Well, I
then
found some more trees blocking the footpath down here.
and then 22
I
open.
I should say bits of trees.
And then I have 22 open, and I just go, right, that's what's there, okay, let's go and put that in. And Reefy doesn't want production points because he doesn't do them, and they wasn't in 15 anyway, it was all just sell points.
Yeah, but you'd still have the likes of the spinnery, and I know that you don't want them as production, but like they can still be sell points.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There was the spinnery, wasn't there, on that?
Yep. I think. Probably.
Like Like, do you know what I mean? You can have production points without actually having to buy them. They just act as a sell point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So all I have to do is take the i3D for the binary, delete the building, and then just put the triggers how I want them, export the triggers, then, and then go, there you go. And then they just get placed when you start the map.
Yeah. Right. What do we need? We need the seed. That's a direct seeder, isn't it?
Yep.
I presume as the JD is on it, the JD will. Do we have a mulcher or anything? No.
No, we don't. You can buy one if you want to do that. Entirely up to you.
Well, that gives you the extra.
Mm-hmm. You may as well go with the biggest mulcher then, because these fields are quite big now, especially this one.
The biggest mulcher is, well, mulcher, 6 meters. 6 meters, 5.8, 5.6. So left front mounted.
Because the JD I think is 350, 400, no, 500 and something, isn't it? I think.
Front mounted one.
So JD, let's go.
5.6, 5.8. What
517 for the JD. That's the most powerful extractor. And the JCB is 348.
I'm just seeing if I could get one that would go on the front. We don't have clicked if I can jump, do we?
No.
Right, you're full of fuel, but you need servicing, so we better service it. Where's the trigger? Oh, close your eyes.
No, I've been watching. I'm watching the combine again. So
The tractor was actually fine. It was the seeder was completely dead.
oh, the money. Okay, fine.
Yes, 7 grand for doing the seeder.
That's only a few bales. Easy money.
Yeah, I mean, I went from 960 odd, I think, up to 1.2. So
Yeah.
what is this 6 meter?
You said 5 point something?
No, the seeder is 6 meters.
Cedar is 8 meters, I think.
Oh, is it?
8 point.
All right.
No, 8 point. Sorry, that's ton.
All right. Well, yeah, well, we
8
can,
meter.
I can't, even if I put a front thing on, so it's not because it wouldn't match up. I just have to mulch and then do the seeding.
Well, I guess you could always have the cedar on hired helper doing it.
Ah, grand. I don't mind doing it. I do one and then the other.
Road so it's out of the way. What's that? 3 loads in there, so 1 more load. 73% full.
And are we holding on to it? Or did we sell all our stuff from last week or not yet?
We did.
Sure.
We did.
And what are we doing? Are we storing it again?
What's the selling for sorghum at the moment? 600. 900 in December. What are we in? June.
Doing it.
So right now, price is just going down, but it starts going back up in August, from August onwards. I guess we could just stick it in the storage. We ain't desperate for money, are we, anymore?
No.
Or do we want to buy a production and start doing production with it? Maybe making flour.
Does they do sorghum flour? We do. I can't remember. Was it like so long since I use a modded bakery on.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if they do sorghum flour.
Hang on, I have a thing in my. I have a folder with the productions before, or a picture in production chain. Because of asking myself these questions.
Mm-hmm.
Sorghum. That is. Yeah. So sorghum. Oh no, sorghum does. Sorghum is. Why is that got a plus on it? Sorghum. Oh no, that's the arrow. Sorghum is the kind of thing that looks like a honeycomb with green underneath it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes into the grain mill. It's just the oats goes into the cereal factory.
Well, you can make cornbread. I'm just looking at the XML. So you can make cornbread in that one. Flour and bread.
So you can maybe outmod it, but looking at the Giants production chain, sorghum goes to the grain mill.
Yeah.
Whereas like with oat, it goes to the cereal factory, and then you need a whole lot of other crap to go with it as well. So, well, what we can do, well, actually, because it'll tell you if you look at the sell points, it should tell you if it goes to the it should tell you
Okay.
sorghum. Oh, we have 43,000 litres in storage. Maypole Mill, is that the viable place, I wonder?
Maybe. There's a lot of productions on here though, isn't there, as well?
And that's what I was saying when we were looking the last day, I reckon there was that yellow thing. And we were like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
The fry shop, popcorn factory, pancake shop, ketchup production, bakery, Stanley Cakery, waffle shop, pizzeria, dairy. Power station as a production.
Okay.
Actually, a Goldcrest Pacific Grain.
So if you take to the power station, then diesel.
I don't know. So we have gold. That's the only one. The Gold Pacific Grain. Where is it there?
Having fun? Yeah. Hi, Vanessa. Are you joining? Or are you busy today? Vanessa says hi.
Oh, Vanessa. Short sugars.
Yeah, so over 1.1 million when I came on.
Pacific. So Goldcrest Pacific Grain. You can buy it as a production.
Yeah.
So does that sorghum sell there? Goldcrest Pacific Grain, it does sell here, yeah. So I'll buy that. So
Okay. I'll be on shortly. Okay.
right, building has been purchased, and don't know if we go into productions. Sorghum flour.
Oh, we've got chickens, so we can actually feed our chickens some sorghum as well.
Oh, we got chickens, we do.
Yeah. That's the one animal that we kept.
Alright, you can actually do oat flour as well. Okay, so everything is turned off, so it's only sorghum active. So once we get sorghum.
So if we leave the one that's in the silo then for the chickens, and then everything else dump what we can in there for the production till it's full.
Alright, that's actually only around the corner from here.
Perfect.
down the end of the field across the grass field. Yeah, so it's that building down. Where are you? Behind
5.
you. When you turn around, it's no, it's not that one. Is it that one? Could be. I didn't. I just looked. Yeah, it's the one down by the lake.
Okay, so the one I
So
was just looking at, that one.
the one down.
Goldcrest
The one.
Pacific Green.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, up at, right by field 13.
Yeah, so it's only just below this field.
Because I was on an orange slab by that field slab, and then I was like, no, because field 5 will take forever to harvest. That other one will take a long time to harvest. And then we got the other 2 fields as well. 4 arable fields would probably be more than enough that we need. And then turning all of these fields around.
Yeah.
I don't think we need any more arable fields at all.
Oh, this is the tippy trailer, isn't it?
No, that one's got moving floor. It's set, should be set for the moving floor.
Oh, you can. Okay, because this
Yeah.
is under. It's under a roof.
Yeah, I did originally set it to moving floor. Just make sure it's not on grain door.
It's on grain door.
Yeah, I had to set it back. I'm getting ready to pick up
All
grass,
right.
make bales, and why not, and whatnot.
Slide in floor, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at that, it'll take nearly probably 1 million litres, so it'll be fine. Well, there was 3 loads in here, so what, 45-ish in here,
Yeah.
and that's gone to, okay, maybe not 1 million, 500,000 maybe, 4,500, yeah, could easily take 500,000 litres, I'd say. So there'll be no shortage.
I didn't check. Well, I didn't look at that production, but I don't know if the productions have been changed to be faster or.
6,000. That sounds very high. 6,000 a month, and that's 5. No, that's wheat. They're probably all the same. No, so okay, sorghum is 3,600 a month, and 15 gives you 16.
Okay.
How full are you there?
Well, hey Roger, see you later. It's lunchtime here in the middle of middle USA. No problem. You take care, Roger. Thanks for dropping in.
You hiring workers?
No, I pulled out like this.
All right, he's saying that some worker didn't have any job or couldn't do something.
No. I did buy a new mouse though, and it was, as you said, the mouse.
It was.
Yeah, this one's working perfectly. I went into the pound shop and it was like £4. Yeah, fuck it, I'll just try it out, and if it turns out it wasn't the mouse, then I wait. It'll be fine. This mouse is perfect.
They just go over time, and it can be the sensor, like it's. Well, it's probably Vanessa because she's actually on the server.
Cute.
Can you get in there? All right, you can. Yeah. I'll just leave that there because that's in the middle of the field. I'm unlikely to get that first fast.
Okay. I most likely will need emptying before you get there, so I can easily jump in it and move it over. Keep moving over.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be doing a 6 meter mulching.
Yeah, whereas I'm doing, I think, 13 meters. I'm doing, where are we? 13.7 meters a time. That's just over 2 passes for you.
John, I should put a sensor on this for the seeds, shouldn't I?
You could do, yeah. We should have plenty of seeds in the storage because I filled them all up, and this shouldn't need liming because I limed it last week. Yeah, last week now.
I'm full of seeds, so we see how far they go.
Hey, Matt.
Do you know what it might be worth getting actually is a seed tender
Hmm.
or seed a front seed thing.
Yeah. You joining, bud?
Because this only hurls 3,100, and if we're going to have big fields,
Mm.
they'll hold another 1,500, 2,000.
Where is my blue auto load? LOL.
In the shed down by the bale area.
Yeah, so Logan came down with a virus.
Yeah.
Took him to A&E, and they went, "Oh, it's blisters in his mouth. There's a spray. It's a virus. It's going around." Following day, started coming out in a rash. So she took him to A&E. And then he was like, "No, it's not blisters in his mouth. It's hand, foot, and mouth."
Yeah.
It's like, well, how the hell did you get that? Where do you get that from? No, none of my kids have ever had that. The older ones, anyway.
He's not crawling or anything, is he?
Nope.
Like he's gone beyond that stage.
But everything he sees, he puts in his mouth still.
Yeah, God, that could be like just from fucking dogs or cats or anything around.
And we do get quite a few cats come in our garden. And not last week, the week before, after I cut it, he'd been out there playing.
Yeah.
And so he was given a mouthwash. Try telling a 2-year-old you gotta spit the water back out. I was like, yeah, the best way to do is teach him with water first, nothing else, just water in a capsule, and explain that you've got to spit it out before you put anything in there because he'll end up swallowing it otherwise.
If he swallows it, it's not the end of the world.
And it didn't work out so well. Going Calpol, he hadn't eaten for 2 days. Did my silage get sold? It did, some of it. All of it.
All the silage is sold, all the grass bales are in that shed, and you can buy another shed, put it facing that one, the same area, and then you'll have them all down there. Because there's no shed at the main farm anymore.
I'm doing okay, just really tired. You need to book. No, you got the weekend now, haven't you? So you get a chance to catch up with your sleep. Yeah, I know. When you get into a routine, that body clock kicks in and you end up waking up even though you're still tired. And then a cat nap ends up you feel worse after a nap. But he's starting to get better now. He's definitely feeling himself. My baler. It's on the grass field where you left it.
The baler wasn't moved.
No, I just took the JCB because we needed it for the cedar.
It's mulching. Oh, it's the one I'm using mulching now, so.
Is that what you're using the JCB for? Okay. So the JCB is currently doing the mulching. There's the red tractor's still down there though, I think.
No, the Cormac is up in the main farm.
Okay. So the small JCB and the McCormick are on the main farm. And the JCB, but
Is this a bigger JCB? It is.
is that the one with the all-wheel drive? You'll find out when you get to the end, won't you? Because the all-wheel drive wasn't turned off, or all-wheel turning even. Up to the red tractor. So you got the McCormick.
It doesn't say anything about it in there, but.
Yeah, so if it hasn't got that, then it's the big one.
Oh, if it hasn't. Well, it's the one that was attached to the cedar.
Yes, that's the big one.
So it doesn't have all-wheel steering.
No, only the small one has that. But then the small one is the only one that you can. If I'm correct. That you're saying that you can only put front loader on the small one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you had this. mulches all the grass when you come off the field if you don't lift it up.
Yep, so definitely rolling made a difference on the yield.
Well, it's 5%. Well, I think between mulching and rolling, is either 5 each or 5 between them. I can't remember. It's not huge, but it's still, when you're dealing with a field this size and everything else, like.
Yeah. So I had the hired helper doing the rolling, and I had to keep coming back because it kept stopping every so often going up towards the north of the map.
Yeah?
Yep. It'd do its turn, put the roller. Well, they wouldn't lift the rollers because it's that big. Rollers can't be lifted, and it'd do its turn, line up, start, and then suddenly hired workers finished. It's like, no, you haven't.
Yeah, because we don't. Do we have the info on this where if you look at the field, it tells you what the top yield is and what you're actually getting?
No, that's a mod. Unfortunately.
Because that'll tell you what your yield, like with precision farming, it tells you what the potential yield is, 100 and whatever percent,
In
and
fact,
what your
that was
current yield actually is.
oh, here.
I don't think.
Oh,
I don't.
no, it does. Expected yield 118%. The yield potential is 125%.
Right, so we're missing 5%. Mulching would be part of it, rolling, and then just the ploughing and whatever, if it's been ploughed in the last cycle, fertilizer and all that.
My hub off, lol. Hub. Oh, your husband. Okay. He's Matt's going to sleep, I take it, having a nap. But yeah, so the mulching is the other 5%. So that's 15% increase for the next harvest. With the rolling on top.
And what are we? pH is bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it does need to be limed. And nitrogen is 0.
pH is a bit over there. So where it hasn't been harvested, it's 6 flat, and then where it has, it's gone down to 5.8.
Oh yeah, because this is all harvested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it updates after your harvest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you go from it should be, if it's perfect as soon as you harvest, then it's not perfect anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing was only 25 grand, the mulcher, so
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that expensive. For a field this size, it should, like, 5% is a big yield.
Yeah, it is.
Hi, gentlemen. Is the HUD turned off? Because I don't have anything.
Nope.
What is on?
You can't turn it off because it's that's a mod to turn it off.
Yeah, but that's weird because I'm on the game and I don't have anything.
Is
I
there
don't
is there a way of turning it off for photo mode or something? There is a way of, I don't know, is it a mod that you turned the HUD off?
You may have turned it off in something else, but I've got my HUD even.
My HUD is working.
So I've turned it off. Sound.
It's possibly a mod that turns it off.
Matt's trying to help me figure it out.
Check your log, see if you're running an error. That can cause the HUD to disappear.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you've on single player if you've had a mod that disables the HUD, and then when you come in here, that script even though it's not running, it's still
Got
it
it, got
saves it.
it.
Okay.
It switched around some reason, so I got it now.
And what did you have to do?
Had to go in and had to I guess just in the settings itself, not the settings, but it just allowed me to turn my HUD on, so I was off.
There's
That's
a
an option
setting.
in game.
Setting. Window colorblind interactive triggers, show player names, money, temperature, units, radio. I'm definitely not going to be in radio. Easy on camera, steering, direct change, gear shift, input help mode, sound, environment, farming, help window always active. Oh,
That's
that
your
HUD.
F1. That's your
That
F1 menu. The help is the F1.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one that you're on about, the HUD? The where it tells you all the buttons to push?
Well, no, yeah, the one on the left-hand side, the controls. You would think
Oh,
I would
okay.
have muscle memory by
All right.
now,
That
but
that's
you
no
know,
the. All right. When you say HUD is your speedo and your date and money, and that's the F1 menu or the help menu.
Yeah, so if you press F1, that can turn that on and off. You can hide it or have it on display all the time.
I actually got Derail Valley during the week, right?
You did?
Yeah. I
And
got sick of Farm Sim because I had a lure error and I just couldn't work out what was wrong with it.
uh-huh.
It's good.
Okay.
Interesting.
I've been doing a bit of Factorio
Yeah.
on with doing 1,000 zones points needed,
All right.
and
Oh, the hard level, like
yeah.
my young fellow actually said I was asking me had I played Project Zomboid,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yeah. Do I have? Remember that thing I was on about a couple of weeks ago about the knock effect?
Yeah.
It come up on Twitter, so I subscribed to it, like. So
Mm.
it's basically because it was like the 30-year anniversary, so it's the kind of the story behind the game, I suppose.
Mm.
So every day now I'm getting tweet going that the president had said this, or the army's doing this and that, and different cities are infected. So it's like real time updates.
Okay.
That's been going on for the last 2 or 3 weeks now. Just interesting, like,
Mm-hmm.
like where it started, the infection or something had happened and it was sealed off and everything is fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we're fucked. But over the period.
Well,
Like,
where was it? There was a server I was looking at going. Maybe that's something that we could go to during the week or something on a Saturday, if everybody's free, and do Project Zomboid.
I found out another interesting thing off him as well.
Mm.
You can now do your missions in GTA Online in a invite-only server.
Ooh,
You can do it so you don't have to be on a public server. You can do it on invite-only.
that's definitely a better, because otherwise you get people don't reset it. You get people who troll you.
Yeah. But yeah, because he done a mission. He wanted the bunker missions. He done it in invite-only.
um, I can't. I don't think I could purchase another shed. You guys got to do it.
I'll put one in there, so hang on a second. Where am I in here? Don't find it now.
I've definitely learnt I don't like the in-game terrain tool. I guess when
It's
you're
not
used to the Giants GE itself.
right, but with the see, it's fine with me because that's what I'm used to. I get
Mhm.
completely, um, like, I get completely confused when I'm doing. You know what I mean? When I go into um, I was just concentrating there because I was
Mm.
picking thing on the map. Um, I get completely flustered when it comes to maps on
Or in GE.
NG. When I open GE, like I was just about able to manage when I was doing my header trailer and stuff.
Hmm.
But when it comes to maps, like I am just completely flummoxed. Like
Yeah.
I turn them out and it's oh shit, I've lost the whole map.
Found it funny when I loaded Aldridge up and it was like, you're under the map. And there's all these objects floating under the map. And I'm like, wow. And then it's like, oh yeah, in 15, um, some objects you have to put under the map and then they'd appear on the actual ground above. It just looked weird.
There you go, Vanessa.
Thank you. I've been going silage crazy in case you haven't noticed.
Oh yeah, we noticed with all the money.
That's one thing you will get. I mean, Roy probably, you kind of got it by now, but Roy would tell you if you give me grass work to do or any silage work, I'll go above and beyond to get the fields done and go beyond it and get more.
Imagine field 9 on horse being corn, chaffing it.
I don't know is it field 9? I can't remember what field I'm
Yeah,
working
yeah,
on.
it's field 9.
Oh, it used to be 15, wasn't it?
With the big field.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's definitely a multiplayer. Even if you just go into a cheat thing, set it up, have it. You can still have it console friendly, but set it up and load the save. Just as having the big equipment and having the, you know.
Yeah. What I'd do is I'd start it on the server, take the save down, and then start in single player and just take the vehicles and the placeables XML file out and drop it into the.
And you put in the easy dev mode, or give yourself the money you need to buy the equipment you want, and just have it set up ready to go. Pure, just a day of fun, like. And I said, yeah, use stuff that you wouldn't normally like, stuff like the chaser bins and the tractor, like the big cars, like stuff that you wouldn't normally that are multiplayer kind of thing, like, or else it's a lot of horseplay and auto drive and things.
Yeah.
And then you probably find it's easier to set it up in horseplay and auto drive than trying to coordinate people to do it.
Was the traffic running on that map in 17? I can't remember.
On
Porsche. I can't remember if there was traffic in that one.
I can't remember either.
There is in 22 now.
Yeah, no, I can't remember if there was. There could have been. I'm not sure.
I have to watch a map review for 17 for the.
Or just load up 17 and.
Oh yeah.
Well, you probably can't get it for 17, can you know? Because Giants wouldn't be holding 17 mods anymore, would they?
Yeah, if you type into Google FS17 mod hub, it'll come up.
All right, well, it's still there, just not on their mod site.
And 15 will, if you do the same.
All right. I just can't go. I was saying that like I was talking to young fella. I was like, you just can't go back to old games. Once you go onto a new game, it's very hard to go back.
Yeah, it is.
I like to go back to 15. Just seems very clunky. Or even 19 just seems very clunky compared to what you are now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's watching the Hatfield and the toys, so he's been doing that since I laid down.
The Western version, the Western, or the up to date They did a
You're
TV series.
welcome.
Yeah, yeah, it was a TV series, wasn't it? Wasn't that Kevin Costner or something was in it? I think. I watched that with the ex's parents.
I was trying to cut down trees and stuff with one of the JBCs, but there's a smaller one, right? Because the smaller one won't move. I mean, but it's got anything to attach to.
Hmm. The small one, it'll do it, but it will struggle with the trailer because that's a big
Oh
trailer.
yeah, we're struggling. Yep, it's a big struggle for it because I I couldn't. I got a lot of stuff of trees. I'm trying to figure out where I could go to cut the damn things down. Because it says we own a certain part. Go there and cut a tree down that says you don't own it.
Hmm. Wonder how long it'll be before the government decides to say all vapes have to be stored behind locked cabinets, not on display, because kids are finding the different colours interesting and they want to try them out.
Just do it. All I don't know, but plain packaging, like they do. Do they use plain packaging cigarettes over there?
Hmm.
Just do that to it, like just
Yep.
plain packaging
Yep.
and pictures of whatever on it.
Hmm. You could just put a picture of the raspberry or strawberry or whatever, and then the name of it below. Strawberry flavour.
Which one are you using, Roy?
I'm using the truck. Okay.
No, the vape. I use
Oh.
the View, but I would prefer to do something with a little bit of flavor because they
Oh.
took that all away here. Yeah, like you said, kids will
Mhm.
get interested in when you do this or that. So
Oh, mine's only a cheap vape. I just wanted to see if it would work first before I went and spent the money on a proper vape.
yeah,
And
I got mine. I use the Views. I don't know if you guys have the Views there, but the only flavor they got really is tobacco and uh, uh menthol.
mhm. I went with a very low, the lowest nicotine in there because I didn't want to end up replacing the vape with cigarettes. I just wanted to use it to cut down. Then once I've cut down, completely cut out the vape as well.
They get rid of the nicotine.
Yeah, I don't want to be reliant on anything.
And you're called turkey, right?
Ooh, lifting the trailer up. Why is that lifting the trailer up?
It's the angle if it's very steep. It does that to them trailers.
You,
Is it over going over the ramp? Is it?
it's on sliding door now. So it's
Like
now
it
pushing.
was.
Yeah, it's pushing it
It
all
was. All right.
forward.
It was on the sliding. I had it on the sliding floor.
So maybe it's per person, the setting.
Maybe because it was the grain door when I got into it.
Yeah, it was
And I
on the
put it
grain door when I.
sliding door.
No, it was on tip with the with the tip door, and then switched it. Went on to grain door, and then went on to sliding floor.
All right.
So interesting. But if I
But yeah,
park this about halfway.
that derail valley is interesting. You can do like shunt. It's kind of mixture of shunting and yards where you have some of it is you could nearly say puzzle, and then you have to work out how to move stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing kind of the longer hauls then as well. That's interesting. Like it's definitely I'm after sinking a lot of hours into it anyway already.
At least you're enjoying it. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Because I was going to bite you when I got paid.
Oh, any other things to be looking about? I still have that emergency one. I haven't even opened that yet. Did you get that for yourself as well? No.
I had that one bought for me by Jed,
Mm.
Jed's mum. Sorry.
All right. Let's have a look at that. That's multiplayer, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Derail Valley is eventually, I think, the plan is for it to be multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And playing it multiplayer would definitely be, because at the moment, like if you're running a train, even just within the yard, well, especially I suppose within the yard, so you're running a train that could be a couple of 100 meters long.
Yeah.
You have to get out of your train, kind of run to the back of the train to make sure you're clear of the points, or to unhook stuff, or because like you're splitting stuff and things like that. Like
Yeah.
you have 5 carriages, it'll give you three. It could give you 3 different tracks that you need to put them on,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, another
or
person on there doing that
or,
for you.
or go collect 5 carriages, and they could be from 3 different tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and then fill them on like a track where loading and unloading track, and then put them on the track which is for outbound. And then once you've done the shunting around the yard, so like basically what happens is, if you bring stuff into the yard, it then generates jobs within the yard to empty them and store the cars. And then as you pick up and fill cars, you put them on a track, and that generates jobs then to go to different stations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a kind of a continuous thing, like. But yeah, with 2 people, it would definitely be. I tend it to be ideal set up for somebody to be like a station master, just sitting there with multiple people doing trains, going, yeah, change this switch to this and this, and
Yeah, and then hooking up your cart, making sure your carts are all hooked up and things like that.
but even just being a person like an air traffic control.
Mm-hmm.
So you're marshalling, you're telling trains where they can and can't be.
Yeah.
And changing junction, or changing the switches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have all the trains, so you'd have multiple, and they all have to call you then and go, yeah, can you do this for me, or is it clear to go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To make it interesting, because some people might prefer doing that than driving an actual train.
What's their aim for? Have they disclosed how many people they're aiming for a multiplayer?
I haven't really looked into it. I just know it's in the pipeline, but probably a year away.
Because if they're doing it like SnowRun at 8 people, then you're very limited. But if they
Well, you see, it's all single track.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work very well with multiplayer.
Mhm.
You'd have to, like, if you were to just have if you were to have a load of people, you'd have to basically double track everything and put in signals.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to run into trouble, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or you'll be
within
waiting.
the,
Is there any passenger lanes, or is it just
No,
all literally
no,
one track all the way?
It's literally single track the whole way till you get into
Okay.
yards. And then yards are only split into like different areas and different track, like staging tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not double track. So you couldn't have, so you'd have to, if you were doing multiplayer, like, I think possibly I seen 2, and I don't know, there was like something, I can't remember where I'd seen that. But like even 2 players, but then you could have like your driver and then a guard, because you can get a caboose for the back.
Yeah.
So they can watch the back of your train and change signals and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But no, it'd be interesting. Like, it's definitely something 2 people would be handy, even if it was only 2 people.
Yeah. Like bus simulator almost.
Yeah, but with that, because you could have like, once you get through, you buy licenses that allow you to develop through the game, like.
Yeah.
And you can have an unlimited. So, like, I'm at that you can have orders of 10, I think, cars.
Mm-hmm.
But like each car is, I think they're 80. The flat beds are flat cars. I think they're 18 meters each.
Yeah.
So 10 of them is 180 meters. And then you can basically put 2 of them together on a job, because you can take multiple jobs.
Mm.
So it doesn't sound a whole lot, but you can't see the end of your train because the track isn't very straight. It's well done, as in it's not, you don't get like kilometers of straight track. It's all twisty and bendy with trees, and even within the towns, it's all buildings and stuff. So it's very hard to see the end of your train.
Yeah.
You kind of, as you're maneuvering around the yards, you kind of work out how long your train is and where to stop, because you know what length your train is.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's not modded then, so no issues with it.
Logan roaring away, so he's watching something on TV.
He's happy anyway.
Yeah. That's the main thing.
Nothing worse than a sick, unhappy kid.
No, definitely not.
Hey, Roy, do you like the header?
Yeah. A lot
I
easier
love
to
Draper headers.
get going with. You got a doggy? Yep.
Yes, it's up over there.
Dogs at the moment.
It's not that bad.
Stuck on the header.
You're stuck on the header.
Yeah. Tried to
Oh, the
squeeze.
trailer.
Tried to
I just looked
squeeze
over there
between
and
the
I see it's
truck.
filling it up.
Yeah.
Oh, you did, is it?
Yeah. Tried to squeeze between the truck and the header, and got
Oh,
stuck.
you didn't get. Oh, I thought you get the truck because you're looking and you're loading the truck. I thought you were after driving off with the truck and getting stuck. Actually, you need to lose a bit of weight. There's plenty of room there. Pull that stuck in that belly.
All the sausage rolls and cakes that I've been having lately.
Fucking no sausage, no Greg sausage rolls over here now at the moment. Fucking Iceland now is shut at the moment. Then they're hoping to open, but they haven't. So no Greg sausage rolls over here.
Don't you have a Greg store?
We don't. The whole issue with Iceland is they can't get stuff in.
No, but don't you have an actual Greg's store?
No.
Oh.
But sure, if they were bringing stuff in from the UK, that's what happened to Iceland. They can't bring it in.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to
Iceland's
take-
gone really expensive, though.
Well, Iceland over here was separate. It had separated a while back
Mm-hmm.
from the UK one, but no, they just can't bring stuff in. So all the stuff, like, it was UK lines they would have had, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't bring them in anymore. So they've temporarily shut their doors now.
Well, Aldi
And then-
over by us, they'd put a video up showing that because we'd had a flash flood, as they put it, and all down there by the door was just all flooded.
Right.
But they kept the doors open and was allowing customers in. But yeah, brave. Somebody could go walking out and then accidentally trip over and go, "Oh, I'm getting a claim." Bring a claim in. Very brave. But things have started going back up now. They
Right,
had
right.
lowered them, yeah. They had lowered them, but you can see them all starting to creep back up again. Halfway through the year, though, aren't we? So,
Yeah, well, your inflation is still it's come down to, I think, what they said report the other day, 8%.
mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean prices are coming down, it just means they're going up less, half of what they were a year ago, like.
Yeah.
they're still going up by 8%,
Mm-hmm.
which is 8 pence in the pound every year.
Yep.
So what was a pound last year should be 124 now kind of job.
Yeah.
Because they've been 16 and 8 is 24.
Mm-hmm. And like bars of chocolate went up from the pound bars went up to £1.25 last year, and
Uh,
they never came back down.
Well, that's the thing with inflation. It's 8% on top of the,
Yeah.
like 2 years ago it was 100% price.
Mm-hmm.
Then add 16% onto that last year,
Yeah.
makes it 116, and then you're adding 8%, which is actually 8 cent plus on the 16 cent as well, like,
Yeah.
or 16 pence as well. So it's going to keep going up, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they ain't coming down
Oh
till you
no.
get negative. And if you get negative inflation, but then the price of everything crashes.
Yeah.
So yeah, your prices are never going to be down what they were.
No.
Actually, like inflation. Oh, so like I said, my young fella brought a car. He paid the same price for his car, which is a little car,
Mm-hmm.
as what would it be, 15 years ago, 14, about 13, 14 years ago. Same kind of age-old car with the same-ish kind of mileage as we paid for our big seven-seater people carrier. 13 years ago, he paid the same money for a little city car. Like when we were getting the seven-seater, those car or that type of car was basically 3 grand short, less than what we were paying for for the car,
Yeah.
like brand new.
Mm-hmm.
But that's inflation and cost of stuff, like.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to be somebody who's looking to buy a house over in the UK at the moment.
It's much the same here. We got
Crazy.
lucky. We got we got ours just before prices went through the roof over here,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're at the end of our mortgage. Nearly we're what, 20 years this year, so the interest rate rises aren't hammering us too much because we've paid all the interest.
Yeah.
So we're not getting mad increases in price, like.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That Factorio, I was thinking, well, go Death World, test it out, see if it's a plausible option, and do go straight for oil and flame towers and for defence, and stop the aliens from being able to migrate, and then turn their evolution down because the whole of the perimeter is just alien bases, and so have it so it's only the pollution that causes them to evolve, but only at
And try and
10%.
try and keep your pollution down then.
And increase the pollution levels that trees can absorb, so that it gives you, because of how much science you're going to have to produce to be able to progress.
You can't plant trees in that, can you?
No, unfortunately.
Or there's nothing that you can reduce. There's nothing in it to reduce emissions either, is there? Like, well, apart from new tech, but like you can't pull the stuff out of the atmosphere and deal with it. Like,
No, they haven't put any air purifiers or anything in. So the pollution that you produce, the only way of making it cut back on it is going solar. But then you ain't cutting back drastically.
but you've already produced everything and evolved all your aliens around you.
Yeah, by then.
So it's a bit late going green then, like, and being environmental friendly.
Mm-hmm. But then everything produces, or virtually everything produces pollution. The assemblers.
Oh yeah, I know. So you've seen my maps; they're completely red.
Yep. But I was like, I wonder, and then maybe that could be a multiplayer thing.
Like even with the furnaces and that, I generally don't go to the electric furnaces. Like I
Hmm.
just keep spewing out all the coal ones.
Yep. And then I set up.
And that's actually looking very good now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Really, really come a long way.
Like for a 3D isometric game, the graphics in it are just unnatural.
Hmm. Yeah, they've done an amazing job considering where it was when I first played it. So now it's completely unrecognizable. You would think it was the same game.
Yeah, oh, it is. Well, they always said that the mechanics and then the polishing.
Hmm.
Actually, they are talk about them. Is it this year or next year now releasing the DLC?
Yeah, I remember you saying about that. Looking
That
forward to that DLC.
they're going to do a DLC and change down stuff in it,
Hmm.
and it'll get you back into the game. Like
Yeah.
you wonder how many people are still playing it actively or whatnot. I mean, even though you get people to play stuff, but like how many people would have the game? It's a good game, but then you've put a few hundred hours in it and you're still playing it. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
but something like a DLC could bring you back and playing another few hundred hours on it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, once you get into it again, you could easily sink 100 hours on a playthrough. Like,
Hmm. Yep.
I can smell the goodness now. Matt is smoking ribs.
Hmm. We had a pork dinner. We had a chicken
Oh,
dinner
I'm gonna
yesterday
have
and
a
we had a
pork
pork
dinner.
dinner today.
Pork dinner, that's going to be tonight for sure.
Hmm. Somebody was saying that having wear on your vehicles makes your vehicles consume fuel faster. I'm like, does it?
having wear on them.
Yeah.
Well, they're supposed to be less efficient. I
That
know
was
that.
me. I think it was me that said that too, isn't it, Roy?
No, it
Is it
was
when your
somebody
vehicles?
doing a
Oh,
stream
okay.
today.
I think
Who was
that's
on
because I
about it.
think in 19 when they had damage, you got less crop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they changed that thing because that fucked up the missions.
Hmm.
Whereas now I think it's you go, so if your vehicle should be doing 20 mile an hour, it might do 15.
Yeah.
Struggle to get up hills. Like if it's the implement damage, it won't go at the full speed. If your vehicle will struggle to lose horsepower, but won't lose you like an actual crop. I won't actually lose the amount you harvest, which is what it used to do in 19.
Did you see the mod that dropped? That rain affects a lot more now.
I seen that. I was half looking at it.
If only you could do one where it would be hay and you had to leave it to dry. Rather than ted
Yeah.
it and immediately have hay. That'd be a nice mod.
Yeah, well, with Terraform or well, not Terralife, but that's the one they're doing, the Maze Plus.
Hmm.
You can kind of simulate it because you have 3 types of grass and then hay.
Yeah.
So you can TED it to be like 3 different. You cut it. Well, you can actually cut it at stage 2 of grass, and then you can TED it twice to make it hay then.
Mm.
Actually, I didn't even watch. I did Disturbed put out a video last week. It didn't pop up on my YouTube
I don't
feed.
think he did. I don't think he did.
Because I usually watch it on YouTube, so it normally come up as a notification.
Hmm. I don't think he did. He could have done, but I didn't get a notification for it.
That's another Christmas one. That's coming out the same time, or just after the Giants thing. About 3 weeks, I think they said, after Giants released their update.
So it gives them a chance to implement carrots and everything. So,
Well, your man said the last day you'll just have two types of carrots.
oh, okay.
You'll have the DLC carrots and their carrots, because all their stuff is all implemented.
Yeah.
There won't necessarily be the 16 stage growths in the new modded stuff, in the new DLC stuff, but they'll kind of work around. So like they'll have 3 or 4 weeks to kind of tie the DLC into their game as much as possible. So maybe not fully implemented, but implemented that it would work. So you'll be able to feed the in-game carrots, and possibly you might be able to use the in-game equipment then to harvest their carrots and stuff.
Yeah.
So depending on what they can, I suppose, get around the DLC without it being hacked.
Hmm.
But then Giants have seemed to have made it easier in 22 to link to the DLC and mod the DLC without actually modding the DLC.
Yeah, without cracking it.
That you can change it with XML, like.
Yep. Because you can make the in-game sawmill do all of the productions that are present from the sawmill in the DLC.
Yeah, it's just scripting it. Like.
Yep.
You just need to know where to. Like, all the script is doing is say, look in the DLC. And it only works if you have the DLC. So then that makes it that, yeah, if you don't have the DLC, it doesn't work.
If you run any of my maps and you don't have the DLC, it'll come up with warnings about them field types not present. But that's because they're looking for the DLC, and if you haven't got it active, then you can't
Yeah,
find
that's
it.
what I'm saying. But it's only a warning, like.
Yeah.
But as I'm saying, so you can link now to it's easier to link to the DLC than it used to be before.
Yeah, you had to have the DLC before.
Whereas now you can just XML your way through it, like.
Yeah.
And some of those boys are smart when it comes to XMLs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I know that, or somebody said they were on hold. They wanted that, poor boy. It's not going to make any more maps until he learns Blender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff now from modding and that you need to know Blender, like, or some sort of program. Blender's the free one, but for models and stuff like that French map I was on, right, they have a river in it.
Yeah.
With that new river that they brought out in the DLC that you can actually use in the editor.
Mm-hmm.
You know the streams.
Yeah.
Well, like the likes of that, and even the roads. You really want to be doing them in Blender to have your smooth roads.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make it in Blender to have your smooth
Yep.
stuff, like.
And
And it is massive then when it's actually in game, like.
Yeah.
But it's having to know how to use a program that does that kind of stuff.
and there's a lot of objects that are out there now that are prefabs that you can use, but they will throw a warning about multiple materials.
Right, but not it. But like, you can't have a prefab road that's going to be smooth without joins. You can't have a prefab stream.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because they have to go with your terrain. I
Mhm.
suppose you could work around, like you could pull a stream out of a map and work your map around it.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, then that's not really that's going to disrupt how your map is made.
Yeah.
And you have to make it around an object rather than you making it your object within your map.
Mhm.
So you need Blender to do that, and the same with the roads.
You'd have to export it all into Blender and then make it seamless.
But that's my point. Yeah.
And then
so
you've
you
got to
end up-
export it back out as well with all the textures in place.
Yeah,
You've
but
got
then
to
you
know
have
all of that.
and you have, but like with the roads, then you have no sudden change of direction and height and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
they're smooth, like, but it's a lot of work.
Yep. Did you look at the no nameless, is it? Or nameless map?
I had it like on Mod Hub. I didn't actually look at it. No,
Looks quite nice. Looks nicely done.
was that not an update? Was that not map not out already?
Yeah, it was on PC, but it was on
Oh,
console originally, but it was pulled off console, so they released an update that then made it compatible with console.
all right. Yeah, see, I download very few maps. If Mod Hub doesn't pull me, like if the few pictures that they put up, because like my rule of thumb is generally if there's no maps, or even on like the likes of King Mods, if there's no PDA picture, I don't download it.
Yeah.
If and whatever like on Mod Hub, if the 5 pictures on Mod Hub don't entice me in, unless I'm watching somebody do a review of it that then kind of shows it in a different light, I don't even download it to have a look at it.
Yeah. I was watching Mr. CLP's map review of it. Or map tour.
All right, well, I've been busy now, so I haven't been watching.
The guy's done a good job on it. I think it does look really nice. Very detailed.
And I said PDAs and the pictures can be deceiving, but at the end of the day, it is you're taking the pictures, so it is you to sell.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, you ain't selling it to me. I ain't don't bother downloading it. You're nearly finished there, you're.
Yeah.
Let's stick this fella on higher. I'll start plant. I'll get another tractor and start planting.
Yep. Okay.
I presume one of the other tractors will do the heart.
The JD.
Yeah.
The JD will.
Alright. I'll just sit in with him for the first row while he goes down, make sure he's getting it all, or getting a straight line, and...
Because the JD also has to do the rolling. Because nothing else is powerful enough to do it.
Does the roller need that amount of kick it does?
Yep. The roller needs over 300 horsepower. I think it needs slightly more than the JD has, but yeah. Up. There you go. Bye. Bye-bye. Logan came for my cup, so she can make me a drink. That's a first. Yeah, don't get a drink until I finish. It's my vape gun.
I'm back again.
You know what mod I should have put on here? You know the one that BP always used to say, you know, Thunder, the fuel and tool trailer.
Oh, the mobile fuel trailer.
Yeah, that one.
Is that console that is the one that you can use as a workstation?
I think so. If it isn't, then obviously not that one, but that would work because this combine needs repairing. It needs refueling.
Did you repair before you went up?
Yeah. It should have been repaired.
Or even, do you know what's a good mod?
Mhm.
And I'm sure it's console friendly because CDP had it up the other day when he was going through mods that would be helpful.
Mhm.
It's a toolbox. It's like 750 quid is all it is, and you place it, so it's a placeable.
Yeah.
But you can pick it up and carry it. Now you can put it in the back of the truck. You can't strap it down, but you can throw it in the back of the truck,
Yeah.
and you can carry it around the map and put it down wherever, and then fix. So like you could bring it up to the harvester,
Yeah.
and then if you lose it or whatever, you just when the game restarts, it resets back to where you originally put it.
Okay. Yeah. I have to get that mod. Put that one on there.
Right, what did you say we're planting?
Barley, because it'll take 6 days. And then obviously we'll get straw off of it, but we got straw to
Which
sell
one?
then.
Barley is the one with the
Second one, isn't it?
string. Oh, we have loads. Oh, yeah, because we have. It's the one with the stringy kind of bits on top.
A good goal for me, guys, if it possible, is to get the Go Wheel standalone baler.
The Go Wheel standalone baler. We don't have a
Yeah.
forage wagon anymore though.
I know, but that's not gonna. Listen, if you need me to make money, I'll make money. Okay.
So you have a combi baler. So what the advantage does
The baler is starting to do goofy stuff though.
What do you mean?
It'll show it half wrapped, throw it on the back, and suck it back in. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
that's a multiplayer sync issue. That's you just ignore it, keep going. That's a sync issue.
Jeez, I'm almost full again. 87.
Why are you not telling me the seed rate? It is turned on. It is planting, but it's not telling me the variable seed rate for some reason. Well, it's on auto, but it's not. Did you do info on this field?
Yeah, I'm sure we got info in this field. Yeah.
Oh, because the seeder's just not telling me. Maybe I need those sensors, do I?
Probably.
Well, sensors are only like 14 grand, so it's probably no harm putting them on all the tractors we're using for doing stuff.
Very true.
I'll go down to the thing and I'll see.
Because we got a station on the farm, haven't we? Workshop on the farm.
So I'm saying I go down to the farm and see if I put them on, see does that link. It's unusual that it doesn't have it. And if not, anyway, it's supposed to make it. We don't have a station either, do we? We should probably place one of them.
What's that?
The station that's supposed to improve your thing as well.
Oh, no, we don't have one. Stop. Thank you.
After a full year of being in the room, our specialized crew have this planet's vast resources to Goldcrest. Our first hyperspeed test flight is a go.
There we go. Fuel trailer. Only leased though, because it won't be used very often.
What did you get?
Fuel trailer.
All right.
Or Fen can pull that thing as well, though, so
Yeah.
be perfect. Perfect timing for a fresh cappuccino. Even though the last one was actually getting cold, so I just took a sip of that one and it's like, oh yeah, fuck, this one's just been made, it's red hot.
Oh, they got a lovely latte out today. Well, I say lovely. It was a garage latte, like from a machine, but it was nice.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, stop. Wow. That overshot.
Yeah, that thing doesn't like stopping,
No.
especially with a full trailer.
No, it does not. Oh, yeah. So the tip, it's tipping again. Why did it change to tipping?
What's that? It seems weird.
Sliding floor is active. Open back door. Tip side sliding floor backwards.
It seems weird, doesn't it? That it keeps resetting.
Yeah.
That's an in-game.
Yeah. I know. There you go. Just to this land, so you can't use the old tip on here. See what happens. On this land now.
If you're odd tipper, no, how are you going to pick it up?
No, there's nothing in here.
All right.
So that went back to the moving floor then. Stop unloading. I don't want to be trying to put stuff in it and then it goes, oh yeah, you're tipping it as well.
All right, no, that thing still isn't highlighted for some reason. It's confusing with everything not being sorted.
Yep. That definitely needs to be a base game feature. Either an option to sort in a specific ways like Breakfast does, or automatically sorted.
Alright, so these sheds are supposed to help your AI drivers be more efficient as well, so for using AI drivers. But it's supposed to help you as well, I think. It's only, what is it, 17,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's meant to improve production, isn't it, overall? Because you're meant to use less seeds because it's more efficient,
Yeah,
less
but for some
fertilizer and all that.
For some reason, that it's not highlighted like the thing. We're on a 50%. If you go into your thing, oh no, the field is showing us stuff. Feed rate.
You are 156,000 litres,
If you go into your precision farming, what's it telling you?
on which they're field 5.
Well, no, just in general, overall.
Environmental score is 77.
Right, mine is only showing 50. For some reason, it's not registering. Or is it? Oh, hang on. If I remember from Hodge's server, I have to click on you have to click on the fields for it to activate.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
that.
54 down there. Wow, that one's bad.
Well, those grass fields aren't looking great.
Yeah. So the 2 fields that you limed, Vanessa, their environmental score is high. The other 4, they're really low, especially the 5 of them. So it's 7 grass fields we own. No, because that's 1, isn't it? It's just so 35, 39, 32, 48, 56, and then 80 and 76 for the other 2.
No, for some reason it's just not the grass. It's saying variable seed rate 0, but it's not actually, and it's saying 0 seeds per meter squared.
Mm-hmm.
But it's using seeds. But the thing isn't highlighted. There should be the dots in it, like.
Yeah.
And I have the crop sensor turned on. That shed is in. And I've updated. I've clicked on all the fields we own. But I had that issue with Hodge's server before, if I remember rightly. They just have to click on the fields
Mm-hmm.
for it to update.
Yep. Yeah, because in single player you just zoom in, don't you, and it automatically shows all of
Well,
the.
it's automatic, but on the multiplayer, yeah, it just seems slow to update. Oh, no, it's after coming in. Now it's gone to 3 dots.
Okay.
When I get to nearly
Yeah,
the
because
end
this
of
field hasn't been changed or anything. This is how it comes. I haven't extended it or anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was showing all the fields were showing with soil info, like, but they
Mhm.
weren't showing any score. And I knew we weren't at 50 because I was getting extra when I was selling the bales earlier.
Mhm. Because mulching is going to improve there, isn't it? And then
Yeah, mulching should improve.
direct seeding improves the score.
Yeah, because we're not plowing, we're not doing anything. So we'll just have to put lime and stuff on it.
Yeah.
I might do lime and then roll it. If we do lime, roll it, and then fertilize it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll be able to see with it's direct plowing anyway, so it's not too bad, but you'll be able to see after liming it, you'd see the rolling a lot easier.
Next.
But it's direct seed, so you'll see the rolling anyway, but because it goes back to the clear stuff, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Which that's one thing they've missed out on. Like they should have just left it with they went to all the trouble of leaving the stubble in the ground when you direct seed it, and then you roll it, and it goes, yeah, but I'm going to now just give you completely clear soil and no. Whereas if you did roll it, surely it would still be stubbly.
Yeah. Yep. And if you direct seed over this, it gives you like a brownie texture, doesn't it?
Yeah, so
But only in certain directions as well.
I'm direct seeding it now over the mulching. So like the mulching you can see is turned to completely yellow.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to simulate the chopped straw.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you seed it, then it gives you the seeded texture, but with the yellow stuff in it. So like it's brown, but with yellow in it. But then when you go to use the roller, then it'll just give you the normal roller texture. It doesn't have a direct seeded texture, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rolled, it just gives you the pure dirt rolled. It's kind of an oversight on their part, if you're like, especially when it's all their stuff, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, it means if you do are rolling after, if you do direct seeding, it makes it easier to see where you've rolled. Instead of this defined, there is a difference, but you have to really spot it to see the difference between rolling and seeded.
Mm-hmm. Stay up here and do the fields at this end. Is it the mulch that people were using? I think the mulch that people were using on the hedges on maple and killed the hedges.
The mulcher. Or was it? Are you sure it wasn't? Because there's two mulchers. That's the field mulcher, and then you have the forestry mulcher as well.
Like,
They're two different things.
okay.
The mulcher will eat trees.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the field mulcher does.
Yeah, so it'd have
They're
been
they're both called mulchers, but one is basically a thing that will take out stumps and shit.
yeah, when they put it down, it makes like a plough texture.
No, that's a mulcher. That's a forestry mulcher.
Okay.
That doesn't mulch your crop.
Okay, Vanessa.
And that one we have isn't going to do anything when it comes to forestry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as I said, yeah, they're both called mulchers. But one is on the mulchers, the other one's on the forestry. Then you have the spaders that nobody uses.
Yeah. It was a bit
Although-
late, but I was just checking to see if you could get the straw out of this, if it was modded in, because you can get soybean straw on here, but you can't.
All right.
That's an option.
But then say that if you're actually creating fields, the spaders are probably worth it if you have a big tractor because they're square plows. Like, but then I suppose you have the black sheep modern plow, which makes it easier.
Mm-hmm.
But versus in-game plows, they're a lot easier than the in-game plows to use a spader to create a field.
Yeah.
And they're much the same width as the smaller. I think they take more horsepower, but they're like 2 meters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they're straight behind you, so it's easier to make a field.
Yeah. Hot in here.
Every rain, now it's wet over here, but the heat is still there. Like it's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been like that here, on and off. It'll start spitting and then it gets really heavy and then it back to spitting and then it dries up. Which that the ground just dries up within a few minutes of it stopping raining.
or we're not that hot now, but it's just heavy rain. But like the heat, it's still in high teens, 20s.
Yeah. And then when the sun breaks out from behind the clouds, you sweat. If you're directly in it, you feel that heat.
Yeah.
I had plenty of room. I could have just gone up and down on this one. All debits die hard. And the other thing I found with 15 was all the clip distances was right the way down.
Yeah.
350 and I'm like, wow. So having to go in and change all the clip distances for everything.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's a lot more user friendly, like computer friendly now.
Mm-hmm. And so one end of the map you can see everything that you'd expect to see. And which will be a completely different feel for Reaver.
Yeah, I see. Like that's what 4 game versions you're updating it. 50, 17, 19. Well, not 3, 22. 3 game versions,
Mm-hmm.
and we've sat here through all 3 games going, "Look at this is a curse of an update,"
Yeah.
and you're just going through them all in one go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But Riot Farm Sim hasn't changed since 11.
No. No, it
Still the
doesn't.
same.
Yeah, we
Still
should
the
all go
same.
back to it.
They just implement mods.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can go back to 11 and get the decent mods, and it'll be the same as 22.
Yep. And the mods was actually better because they only put the base, the minimum features within the mods that they put in.
Well, I tell you, as Disco
The only
said,
actually the only mod that wasn't in 11, forestry, which doesn't bother me. That was
Yeah.
13.
but Disco, like from the crowd that done Aldridge, what were they at the time, and then they went to SOB. He was doing a little JCB tractor.
Yep.
I think back in 15 he was doing it, like just slowly working away in Blender, like.
Mhm.
And then it got to 19, and he was like, you know something? He says, what would have been acceptable when I started doing this, like in 13, 15, just these days isn't. It would just look completely wrong.
Yeah, because we did comment on how Giants have really up
Because-
their game with their models.
So you see a lot of like tractor models and mods and stuff from the earlier games, and they look decent enough.
Mm-hmm.
But put them against what Giants has done, and you just can't. It just doesn't compute. It doesn't compare. Like you look at this, I'm driving the John Deere. I know if I look down, like the front grille where you can see all the stuff in underneath it.
Yeah.
Like you can't have a blocky front end that looks similar to what you're trying to mod anymore. Like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
which in 13 you would have got away with. 15 you would have kind of got away with. 17 possibly a bit. 19 not a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
your
look at
stuff ends
the
up- and you see some of the older convert mods, they're just showing their age and they just look.
Yeah.
They
And
have,
we-
they've been up. They've just been ported over rather than updated.
we started seeing it in 17, didn't we? When Big Bud, when we was looking underneath all of that and going, look at the models on these.
Yeah.
Then BP was like, you can't beat Giants models anymore. They're just getting so good at it.
You need to be well into Blender or some other 3D program. Like
Yeah.
you need to be at that level. Like you need to be a 3D modeler as a job or a very serious hobbyist to be pulling out the kind of models that Giants are doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, there's people can do it, but yeah, you probably find that that's what they do for a living, or they're really seriously into it. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Get off that one. Yeah. Oh, try that again. Look. Okay. Good. Let me switch. Click on the truck for a second there. Or even their AI's got better than what it was.
oh yeah, the AI is like it. I mean, it's a perfect no. I mean, it would be nice to have course-play levels of AI in it, or even the auto drive. Because I mean, their on-field stuff isn't the worst, apart from like it literally just goes up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice if you could do even like the course-play, tell it do a couple of headlands, then go up and down.
Yep.
But like even if auto drive was implemented, like I know they've done. I mean, does anyone actually use their click on a point in the map and send them there?
I think that's more of a console thing than a PC because people use auto driving on PC, don't they?
Yeah,
So-
but even Well, I suppose in single player, I don't be having such a big farm that I'm managing a whole load of stuff and sending them here, there, and everywhere. Like,
Hmm.
but I suppose yeah, maybe people on console use it.
But but I haven't really seen many people on console use it. Just the odd ones here and there that go
Yeah.
rely on it.
See, they'd be better off implementing auto drive in it.
Yep.
And even if they only have auto drive on the roads the way they have it now, because auto drive is a way better implementation of getting people to like it'll find it the nearest point. So if you set that up around the field, or set it at an end, do you know what I mean? And if it works on that, I don't see why they couldn't have it in the game working on consoles, like
Hmm. Absolutely.
horseplay. I mean, at the end of the day, but see, then you look at a Giants map like this, and there's not really need for headlands, is there?
No. I need it vent because I'm going to need fuel because I'm now flesh and gun red.
Oh, but you did get the Bowser, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just fill it up from the
Gas station, wherever there is.
fill it up from the stuff we already have at the farm, no?
Oh, yeah, I could do that actually.
You've already paid for it, like.
Hmm.
Shit, I think with that, can you empty? I think you can empty back out of it again.
Yeah.
But sure, like it doesn't matter anyway. It's going to be there, so the trailer it'll be there. We can fill up from the trailer anyway.
Hmm. And to be honest, it's easier to take to the combine than the combine to the fuel.
Yeah.
Isn't it to the farm here?
But yeah, so like if Giants are getting there, and they are getting their better maps, like, and tighter maps,
Hmm.
then hopefully they'll improve the AI that bit more for not driving. Like, did you look at that one yet? For their map for the Christmas one?
Yeah,
Where they
I
have-
did.
And they have the like the little stream at the end of the field. So like their AI should be avoiding that kind of stuff, you know?
Hmm.
So if their AI can do that and follow roads and go in designated spots into the field, then it should improve the AI if they get it to work properly on a map like that. But I said you only see part of it, guaranteed. You'll have that section will be nice like that, and you'll go in the outer circle from that part, and it'll be just big square fields like this.
Hmm. Yeah, if Giants could get their game together and make a map that just all blends in, and then it would be really nice and
But
popular.
they've had their maps from 17.
Hmm.
And even Bjornholm, I suppose, in 15. Like, Bjornholm was what, 15?
Hmm.
Their sections of the map are nice.
Yeah.
But once you get beyond those little sections, the 3/4 of the map is big square fields with nothing around the edges. They need to get the whole map with the stuff, the added detail and stuff.
Yep.
Like even the login one, like, has nice sections. Okay, it doesn't have a whole lot of field, but if you actually go into the wooded areas, a lot of them have like wood around the outside and they're very sparse in the middle.
Hmm.
Like you run through the woods and it is just extremely sparse when you actually get into the wood.
Yeah.
And obviously, so they have the 3 count down probably for consoles and whatnot.
Which is where I find it really funny because look at the forestry maps that have come out for console, the amount of trees on them.
Yes, but the answer to that is my console is lagging. Well, don't have a modded map with so many trees.
Mm.
We're
Yeah.
charging you 20 quid for this map. My map is logging. My game is logging. Well, you shouldn't have paid 20 quid for it then if you have an old Xbox or play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do that. Their map has to work flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's released a mod on Mod Hub. Well, that's your choice. If it doesn't work, well, that's not really Giant's problem. They're not saying that everything that's released will work perfectly.
Yeah.
And not lag your system or you need, but their stuff that they're charging you for has to.
Mm. Like that person who asked about the deers and how that lags their game out.
Yeah. But I mean, so if it is any truth to the rumor they're getting rid of the old consoles, that could improve an awful lot.
Well, if anything's to go by, because they've already increased the tree count, haven't they, for the silver run? That means that the next game should have that increased tree capacity, maybe even a bit higher, because being on the new gen.
Well, I don't know because you can't actually plant trees on Silver Run.
Oh, okay.
No, you can, but you can't.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in default, as far as I know, you have to cut down a load of trees before you can actually plant more trees. So, like, you can't clear an area and plant a forest there.
Okay, I thought they'd
So,
increased it by enough to do that.
they possibly have increased it, the amount that you can have, but they've still got more trees on than you can actually, like, you can't plant new trees.
Mm-hmm.
But they may have increased the amount of trees that you can have before you can, or do you know what I mean, that you can have on the map. But it's a forestry map, so they're still over the number.
I'll finish what I'm doing, guys, and going to relax on the couch. It's friggin' hot. Okay.
The Vanessa.
Yeah. Always come this side. It's that side I need to be. Be able to squeeze through there.
I wonder if after you mulch it, something I have to try out. If after you mulch it,
Mm-hmm.
could you plant it with an indirect seeder? Or would you still have to cultivate it?
Not sure.
Go away and like get one of those big, like off 15-meter seeders.
Mm-hmm.
Or get a big disc harrow and... Because that's... If you get the disc harrows, it does the same as the direct seeding, just in 2 passes. Like you'd have to have a planter and then a... You know?
Yeah.
It's an extra run, but then I suppose if you're like with an 8-meter seeder, if you're doing 2 15s, is that any faster?
Yeah. I do think precision farming needs to be base game now.
Yeah.
And then options to turn it on or off for those who don't like precision farming.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be nice if they just had like a preset even. So easy, normal and hard had... So like hard has everything on.
Yeah.
By default.
Mm.
Easy has nothing on by default. Medium is maybe seasons with precision farming or... Do you know, that kind of way?
or have it so
And-
each of the easy, medium, hard have their presets and they can't be toggled, and then have a custom where you can set how you want to play.
well, yeah, you could do that, but if you're going to do that, you may as well just have. Well, I suppose because you'd have to set it up then before, like in like games that do that you set up when you're loading the game, and you can't change it kind of once you're in.
Hmm.
But then how many people change between different modes? I mean, I'm just saying make it easier. Like even as it is at the moment, if you set hard, it presets some stuff versus others. Like
Yeah.
so. But yeah, but even if they didn't, if they just had everything toggleable. But I'm just saying if you had preset, because then it just makes it easier, and you can toggle, turn on and off what you want or don't want. Um, but have it that everything is toggleable. Yeah.
And GPS needs to be base game.
Yeah, some sort of GPS needs to be base game, even if it is buy like you get the stuff for the precision, you buy it as an add-on to your tractor.
Yep. I'm surprised that wasn't base game, to be honest, for 22.
Yeah, I tell you, the car my young fella got, it has lane assist.
Yeah.
Oh no, have you ever heard of lane assist?
No.
Right, so I've never driven a car with lane assist. So basically, it stops you from drifting out of your lane.
Oh, okay.
So when you're trying to change lanes, but you don't indicate, you basically, it's like it's like you're on a train track.
So you can't go anywhere.
Well, you can, you just have to kind of keep parsing it. But like imagine your wheel,
Yeah.
and you know the way you have feedback in your wheel,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden it just gives you 100% more feedback.
Yeah.
But if you persevere, then it just knocks off the steer and it'll let you over.
Hmm.
But if you indicate to say you're changing, it doesn't do anything.
Okay. Because it
Well,
knows it knows that you're moving over to the next lane.
Yeah, it doesn't actually turn it off. So if you force over, it turns it off,
Yeah.
and then turns it back on again when you're kind of going straight again.
Hmm.
But if you indicate, it actually doesn't turn it off. It leaves it on, but doesn't stop you from going over the line.
Yeah.
But I was driving home the other night, like, and you indicate changing lanes sometimes if traffic is not a whole lot, you know?
Hmm.
And I just got, and I was like, that's weird. That's there and doesn't feel right. And then I spotted the lane assist thing, and it was like, yeah. So I was experimenting, then see would it bounce you between the two lanes,
Yeah.
like between one side and the other.
Hmm.
And so I pointed the car slightly towards one line. It hits that, and it fucking points you back at the other side. And then it got to the other line, and then it bleeped, and I looks at the dash, and it says, "Please put your hands on the wheel."
Okay, 52 bales in the new shed. So you two, I am burning up. Not to mention I've been sick all day. Okay, Vanessa. See you later.
But probably what you call it? Yeah, probably senses that there's no resistance in the wheel,
Hmm.
because like I had my hands taken off the seat, so like I'm not actually steering. But yeah, so it must have sensed that there was no resistance in the wheel. Gosh, yeah, put your hands back on the wheel.
Technology today, huh?
Yeah, so like your car is 10 years newer than, like it's an 18 car.
Yep.
There's actually, I was looking, it's 26, yeah, 16 was when they introduced the model. So like it's that kind of spec. Like our car is an 8, but the model would be kind of, I think it's 2005. But the difference in 10-year spec in a car, like, is just
Yeah.
like I said, like it's like your mobile phone. Think a 10-year difference in your mobile phone,
Hmm.
or 10 years difference in the computer or TV, or
Yeah.
it's just a world apart. Like,
Hmm. So it took a bit of getting used to the fact that I'm guessing.
well, yeah, I just thought it was.
But did
I,
you
I,
think it was broken at first, or did you?
I've had my issues with stuff over the years with failing steer, well, not failing steering racks, but dodgy steering racks and steering racks that have given up.
Mhm.
You know, I don't drive a new, like my car is an '08, my car is old
Yeah.
on the way out. But so I'm used to driving not top-notch condition stuff. So like, yeah, he just got it like,
Hmm.
and it was like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. Like there shouldn't be notchiness and that like that's a sign of something going wrong.
Yeah.
But it's not. It just whatever electronics on it obviously stiffens up your steering. So it's like when I realized it was that, then it was like, oh yeah, that's grand. So now that I know what it is, you can force it to kick in. Like,
Hmm.
but that no one fucking cares to be telling you what gear you should be in and all that kind of things. Like, which I don't take a tack of notice on. But you know something, when somebody's learning to drive and they turn around and go, what gear should I be in? Should it be in a higher or lower gear? You go, well, look, it tells you,
Yeah.
pops up on the dash. It thinks you should be in a higher or lower gear.
Hmm.
So if in doubt, you've realised you're not in the right gear, and have a look at that and see what it says.
Hmm. Yep. And I'm probably that's down to motor racing having that concept built into their cars.
Well, it's no, well, yeah, but it's to do with eco driving and stuff.
Mm.
So basically, it's telling you like if you're revving at 5,000 revs, it's saying, well, you should really be in a higher gear.
Yeah.
You should be because you get the same speed out of a lower rev, so
Hmm.
therefore using less fuel. But the opposite then, if the rev dropping down to 1,000 revs, it's going. You should really be in a higher or a lower gear because you shouldn't be driving that low because the car will stall.
Hmm.
But as I said, yeah, I take no notice because I drive the way I drive, and so it's like I'm looking at it going, yeah, what's wrong with you? What are you on about? But yeah, when somebody knew, it's like when he goes, "Do you think I should be in a higher gear or a lower gear?" So well, if the car doesn't have anything up there, because it's either nothing or it tells you like an arrow up or down in the gear you should be in.
Yep.
So I says, if you have a question, just have a look at that, and if it doesn't say anything, it makes no difference. If it does, then think about what you're going to be doing next. Because like it can tell you you're into a higher gear because you're going down a hill and using your engine for braking.
Hmm.
Or you could be in too lower gear because you're about to come to a stop
Yeah.
and using your engine for brake. You know, that can't always, you kind of what you're doing as well.
Hmm.
But when you're just driving, it is a handy tip, I suppose, if you're learning to drive. And that's the way everything is going. Like, so I mean, it's a driver, and then theoretically that makes you get your better mileage then.
Yep.
I remember I drove a car before, like, and if monitoring how far I was from the car in front, telling me I'm too close to the car in front on, and all that. And you're like, I'm fucking 2 car lengths behind the car in front. There's nothing wrong with that.
Is that car that's also got the built-in weather system? So if it's raining and you're close, it'll say back off because you're too close for the weather condition.
I don't know, but the one this one no didn't, but that one had fucking everything was coming up on the dash. Like
Like flying a plane now, then.
Like when would I get that? That was a 16 car, so a brand new car in 16.
Fuck, imagine what they are today. Then.
Yeah, so it's a brand new car in 16. Somebody was had been drinking heavily and wasn't feeling the best. We were going to the same place. It was like somebody wanted to drive my car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, no bother. Brand new car. I'll take the keys of it. My insurance covers me.
Yeah.
We would have had a 02 car. So our car would have been 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you get into it and it's telling you like, you should be in a higher gear. You should be in a lower gear. You're too close to the car in front. And then every time you stop, then like an engine will cut out.
Wait until they come out with the cars from, what was it, Demolition Man? Them kind of cars, self-driving cars, but only recognise certain people with them.
Oh, I tell you, I want not necessarily the car itself, but the iRobot one.
Oh, out of
The
not
little white
Lookout
one.
stuff.
Sandra Bullock. Is it Sandra? Is it iRobot? Sandra Bullock and Bruce Willis, I think, is it? They have self-driving car.
Yeah, that Sylvester Stallone, Demolition Man,
Sylvester
where
Stallone,
the wheel
Demolition
suddenly
Man,
comes
right.
out and then opens up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to be able to get into the car and drive,
Mm-hmm.
and then come out of the pub absolutely drunk, get into the back seat and go, right, take me home.
And Total Recall had that, didn't it, with the cab?
Right. I just remember those little white ones that it was all self-drive, and then they had it then that it was you could drive it yourself.
Yeah, that was Demolition Man.
Oh, Demolition Man. Yeah, now that you said it, yeah, it's the rest of Stallone.
Yeah, and
He was
Wesley
like-
Snipes.
Because he was like, oh, you can actually drive this.
And then goes, hang on, yeah, you drive it.
and yeah, and then it was like, but yeah. But like something like that, no, I'm not against driverless or self-driving cars.
Mm-hmm.
Or that you can drive to work and then tell your car to drive home.
Yeah.
Or
As
go
long as it
park
gets you
somewhere
there
else,
safely
right.
and it works.
Just come back and collect me afterwards, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you're not up to driving, then it'll drive you, but you can still have it. Enjoy driving, but at times it's a chore.
Yeah.
You sound like it's with the electric, telling you, for like with the electric cars and stuff now, you get an app on your phone with some of them, like. So when you're getting up to have your cup of tea and your smoke in the morning, you press a button and turn on all the heating and everything. So when you go to the car is lovely and warm.
Really?
No more having to go out and turn it on, and depending on what neighbourhood you live in, as to whether you can really turn it on in your driveway and leave it running to heat up.
Crazy.
But things like trucks and that have had that for a while, or higher end stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the higher end stuff is feeding down into the lower end stuff. You know, that kind of way?
Yeah.
It's over time it feeds down to the lower end. Like if you were to I'm amazed by the stuff on that car. If you were to go and look at a brand new Merc or BMW that's going to cost you 100+ grand, you see what features are on them.
Mm-hmm. So here's a question, the field that's all the way down by the main road, do we want to keep that one? This is the last day to get rid of it if we don't want it after it's been harvested.
Oh, you mean it's the last day to get rid of it?
Because we're halfway through the time on this map.
Right.
So if we don't want it, this is the day. This is the final chance.
All right, I don't mind. I mean, I don't really. I'm not taking any notice of what fields we do or don't have. So I'd say you just make a call yourself
Okay.
of what you think or shouldn't. I'm only turning up on a Sunday and
Because I'm
doing
thinking how
whatever needs
big
doing.
number 5 is and how long it'll take to turn around. And because I mean, it's like 20, almost 20 to 10 now.
Yeah, he's still mulching, and I'm catching up slowly to him. But
Yeah.
yeah, see, field 5 on its own is nearly enough to keep you going in the stream, like.
So I'm thinking I'll harvest this one down here and then sell it.
Sell everything else and just keep. You could buy field 5 and extend it. Buy the grass field below it.
Yeah.
Extend it into that, and even you could buy the field below that and make all 3 into just one big huge field.
Mm-hmm.
and just have that.
Yeah.
It's only around the corner from the farm.
Very true.
You could take out the trees at the side if you want, or just leave it as like just leave the fields the shape they are. Just join them together. So like the grass field below it is just long and thin with a road between field 5 and that.
Yep.
The other one is slightly, and it's right by the grain mill.
Yeah, so join all them fields together.
But like looking down at the distance there, you just get the edge of field 5, go down into the grass field and onto the field below that. And on the other side where the grain mill is, just join it up into the grass field. And you'd have one big massive field and just have that and plant whatever the one crop in that instead of having traipse around.
Yeah.
You could always put a shed up by the thing if you wanted up here and have your hair. If you want a shed, put your harvester in it.
Get rid of that field box. We won't keep that one then.
Right. But you get what I'm saying, and just
Yeah.
have it all on the one field. We're only around the corner from the farm. We're there by the grain mill, so that's where we'll be selling most of our stuff.
Yeah.
So, get me up to speed on
AI is missing bits at the top of the field. Must be speed there. So there'll be patches of the field because I couldn't be asked going over it again when he's done. So it'll be just seeded over if I get there.
It's okay.
It's only little patches, like the edge. There must be a tree or something he thinks is too close. But yeah, I'd say that just do it like Vanessa has her grass fields.
Yep.
Which are all together. I'd say just make one big field up, one big arable field up here.
Yep. Okay. So after I've harvested this field 20, I'll sell that.
I mean, that there is a crop in that bottom field. I don't know what's in it. It's only at an early growth stage.
Barley.
Right, so you could it'll be a day ahead of this, I'd say, is all.
Yeah. So if I buy that and then buy field 32, we own them now.
Buy the grass field. I
Yep.
wouldn't even bother cutting the grass field. Just get the plow.
Yep.
Plow it in and seed it now with barley, and then you have the whole lot. It'll all come in around the same time, like.
Yeah, as you said, that's only a growth stage ahead of what you're planting right now. So
It's only baby stuff, so yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah.
So next week, then you'll just have the one big field. I said, yeah, because like the first week we were on here harvesting, and last week as well, you spend more time getting all the gear around the place.
that's why I was trying to compact everything towards, pardon me, the main farm.
Get
Or the
ready
farm.
to get ready for that big field in the harsh, man.
Yeah. Hey, Cushy.
But no, do you know what I mean? I think that would make more sense than to be looking, do we want this field or that field?
Yeah.
Because I mean, even then you can set up the harvester and leave it. You don't even need to be disconnecting the header. Just leave it up here.
Yep. And put
Then
that
you
mod
can-
on
you
with the
can have-
toolbox. And
You
then,
can have a look at that, and you could just throw it up here somewhere then, and
Yep.
you just use that. I said you pick it up and run into the middle of the field with it. Like that's the only thing, and I'd seen that myself. You can't strap it down.
Yep.
But you can pick it up and carry it. Oh, I'm out of seeds.
So therefore, it'd probably be better to put the seed storage tank up there as well, isn't it? When it's empty from off the farm, so it's easy just to fill up instead of going all the way back to the farmyard to fill up seeds and then go back up.
Yeah, or you could
And the
buy,
line, actually.
or you could just buy a tender.
Yeah, and then use that.
Is there tenders and like do those? I don't know what lime. No,
Oh, can you use? No. Can you use the front tank on with that seeder? I wonder.
you can, yeah, because it's only a visual. If they connect it, it works.
Okay.
It works. This it works, but obviously with this tractor, it doesn't have a front point on it, a front 3-point.
Oh yeah, it's the JD, isn't it? We don't have a tractor big more powerful enough to use with that.
Well, what horsepower is this one looking for? 240. Surely that.
Oh
big
yeah, the
JD
JD would do it. The JCB would do it.
So buy the seed buy the seed thing. Like what are they? The seed things are
18,000 for the tank, front tank,
right, but I'm just saying quantity wise.
1,500 litres.
Is there a 2,000 litre one? Because like I have how much of the
No,
field?
that's the biggest one. That's the only one, in fact.
All right, with 1,500, that would give you an extra because this only held 3,000.
That's bought.
The JCB at the moment is on the what you call it. The JCB at the moment is on the doing the mulching.
Mm-hmm. Wagon is the. I know the horse pack in 17 had it where you had the.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have. There is a mod of it, but I don't know is that a mod off a site or off mod hub. I think it might be off a site because the graphics wasn't great. But
Yeah, I've seen it on King Mods. Somebody put a link up for it.
right.
It's is it the one that you can use a telehandler with? That one.
I had downloaded. I think I got rid of it in the end. I never actually used it. It was one of those. Oh yeah, they were dead handy back in the day.
Mm.
They're auger wagons. Did they take? I know there's a script that makes them take lime. So did they take?
Oh yeah, I didn't check the Ogre wagon.
They don't take. They don't. They'll take seed, I think. No, yeah, they'll take seed and fertilizer.
Oh,
Like they take what? That 33,000. They don't need.
right.
But there should be.
There is very few trees left over there. Over there.
There is. I'm just trying to think. I know there's a modded Studio 82 one that has the toe behind the truck one,
Mm-hmm.
or toe behind the pickup, kind of the small one. Do you remember the small one that was in 19? The little kind of trailer one.
Yeah, I do.
But there's a modded version of that. If it's a Studio 82 one, it's usable on consoles.
Yeah.
Like these ones only take, they'll take seed and fertilizer, but they won't take lime. But yeah, I mean, you could just put the lime silo up there. Well, they're full of lime now, so you can't really like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you could have a look, or even just have a look. There's probably a console friendly one that does lime that will take lime and fertilizer because it's not a scripted. It'd only be a change in the XML.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's the seed? Is the one by the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that might be worth having a look on the mod hub and see is there one like
But the Ogre wagon should take seed, surely.
it does, but
Or
that's what
will
I'm
it,
saying.
will it
does.
distribute it through the pipe?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is it won't take lime.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it holds 3,100. So like that 1,500 will increase the capacity by 50%.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And with a bigger field, you're still going to go through 2 lots of that, like.
Mm-hmm. Because we don't need the seed anywhere else but that field.
Yeah.
So it's pointless having it on the farmyards drive all the way back there.
Yeah, but how much seed do we have in the thing?
But we could fill it into the trailer and then put one up there and then empty it into that one and sell the one off the yard.
Can you empty into that one?
Yeah. Yeah, they're either you can either fill them up manually or buy the seed into them.
But the lime one, we have 150,000 in it.
Yeah.
Mind you, by the time we lime, all these fields need lime, and this field needs liming, doesn't it?
Yep.
So by the time you lime this, how much will you go through?
Very true.
More than just a business. You have to know exactly what it is. Hey, you do anything original?
I will. We reach the end here, get the truck down here, unload him, and then leave him on AI and get the plough and start joining
Going in
field
the field.
together. Yeah.
I get to do my stuff. Okay.
If I plough the the grass all in first, that means by the time you hopefully will be close towards the end of the
Or,
field.
or what you do is don't plough it in.
Hmm.
Mulch it in.
Yeah. Because then it gives you a fertilization level with grass, doesn't it?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So if we just mulch that in,
Mm-hmm.
or plough between the fields,
Yeah.
mulch that grass in when the mulcher is finished on this field, and then once we have all that done, like it'll take into consideration the like when because we have the precision farm and on use one of the tractors, which at this stage is the JD, the Big B, JCB, and the McCormick all have sensors on.
Mm-hmm.
So you put one of them on, and they said, yeah, we have that thing. So even if you put AI on it, they should be better. And like to drive across the field, you did.
No, I too sharply hit the brakes and turned, and it
Yeah.
jackknifed.
I done that with an empty truck.
I may as well empty it while I'm heading.
But yeah, so if you do that, and then once you go over it with lime and fertilizer and stuff, it'll take different levels into account,
Mm-hmm.
and we get it out of the way, like.
Yeah.
And the field should all be ready then, apart from if the grass needs ploughing. Well, I suppose have a look if it needs ploughing, mulch it, and then plough it. That should theoretically give you the fertilizing and the mulching status.
No, it doesn't need ploughing.
And what about the other field?
No, the other field doesn't need ploughing either.
Right, so that's grand. So we won't need to plough a section of it afterwards. So we just
Soil
join it up.
information.
So we just purchased this. No, or did you just buy it? You did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because so we're gonna have to rent a thingy because we're gonna have to manually. Or will we be able to do? No, once you've done the fields, we might have to buy the soil information again.
Yeah, you have to buy the in-between soil information. It doesn't.
Right, but it should give it as the field. So if you increase your field and you rebuy it, it will pick up the whole. So in 19, it only picked up the original field, but in 22, I'm sure if you increase the field and then buy the information again or wait till you've increased it, it picks up all the plowed area or
okay.
it picks everything up. Well, you've it brought no, but just as future reference.
Because if you go on precision farming and then go down to field 32, the grass field, when for the info, if you see both fields are separate.
Or did it buy it as one lot? It did. Or is it one lot to buy it? All right. But when you increase it, so normally what it does is it'll pick up everything on that plot. So if you create a field,
yeah,
you can buy the info to scan it. You couldn't do that in 19.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I know it was a mod in 19 that done that, but with the mod you couldn't. It would only pick up the original fields. It wouldn't pick up. But with this, the way they've got it now, if you increase the field, it'll then allow you to buy the info for it.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
It picks all the plowed area or all the field area within that plot of land.
Oh, that didn't down there though. I had to just buy that field information for the for field 32 separate because it was.
They're two different fields.
No, the other one wasn't a field. It was where the cow pasture was.
Oh, or down there.
Yeah.
32.
Right the way down the bottom for the grass fields. 32 was the field, and then above it was the cow pasture, and I stole the cow pasture, smoothed the land out, and then ploughed it all together.
But if you'd brought, and then you brought sometimes you have to, single player.
Oh, but then I'd already owned the the soil information for the grass field.
You have to rebuy it again.
Okay, so
I know in single player sometimes you have to log out and come back in again for it to recognize that you've created a field.
okay. We got a shed down here.
Yeah. We have a shed, or there's just a shed?
There's a shed down there. We own it, but it's not one that we put down.
You might have to sell it off. You're selling the land.
Yep. I
More
will
money.
do. Yeah. Well, I mean, this 12,500. Well, that covers the land. The scanning the fields.
See, we're back to where we started now. We spent all our money on we made from the silage. What do we have to show for it?
Yeah, but this field, when it's done, after it's been harvested, this is like 300 and some thousand, 339,000. So.
All right, but I say, what do we have to show for it? Well, we have a production for 80 grand.
Mm-hmm.
We've just changed the equipment around a bit, and all our tractors now have sensors on them.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
Leave that one. You're the small JCB. Yeah, enter that. No.
If you're coming up with the plough,
Mm-hmm.
will you pick up the seed tender and fill it up?
Yep, I'm
Because
going to
once
pick it
that-
up.
Once that JD is finished, we've probably got 2 or 3 strips left.
Mhm.
I'll put on the JCB, I'll put the JD on the mulcher for the grass.
Yeah.
And I'll put the seed tender on the front of the JCB and put that on the seeder. But like if you're bringing up the plough, you'll be able to bring up the thing on the front anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would have gone down for it in the JCB, but the JCB is very slow going down. Oh, not JCB, the
Yeah, the
JD.
John Deere, yeah. 25
Yeah, it
miles
does
per hour, so yeah. it's
40
not-
kilometers. Well, it's not. It's a it's a rubber track tractor. Like it's not going to.
Not going
It's-
speed and break any speed limits.
It's a slow workhorse. It's working at 18 kilometers an hour in the field. That's what it's built for. Like not for tearing along the road.
Yep.
So, in order to be flight operational, your armadillo will require material of specialized.
But definitely on Horse, a couple of the big JCBs would be nice. Carting. Well, no, we'd be using the truck, wouldn't we?
Yeah, you're probably better off using a truck.
But
They go
side.
faster than the JCBs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a fairly flat map, if I remember rightly, as well.
Yeah. Well, It does look very detailed compared to what 17 did,
Oh,
which
no,
you,
it has-
you'd
it's up-
expect because
It's
of the.
updated. You'll probably find all the buildings are fucking 3D textures and
Mhm.
that as well. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, no, I'd have to, as I said, go back and compare it, but it looks slightly different, the layout, but I would say this is probably more accurate.
Mhm.
I mean, it could be based on one of the maps that was done. Wasn't it that map? Was it that one that they were doing the mod contest last year? Or was it a different? No, that was a different map, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like still, I don't know who's possibly it wasn't Giants done it. Somebody might have done it for him,
Mhm.
or Giants might have done it. But yeah, it can be kind of more accurate because it's not a made up. So it's
Mhm.
this, as you said, the wall in the middle of the yard. That's probably a genuine thing, like.
Yeah.
So you put it there because it is there. So
Mhm.
like you don't have to make up.
I would reckon that that's there to stop people from tearing through the yard.
Oh, possibly, but like it's not going to be a giant map with big square fields once you get out at the center area
Mhm.
because it's based on real life. So therefore, it's the shape and size of real life.
Yeah.
They've got a map to go, and that's the difference between making. So like when Oxygen David does a lovely looking map, and you look at the fields and they look natural. Well, yes, because it's a fucking Google Maps PDA that he's. Because I was looking at his map, actually, I downloaded and driving around.
Mhm.
Like one of the grass fields, you're actually driving in a housing estate.
Okay.
The field is a grass field, but on the PDA, it's a housing estate
Mhm.
because the PDA is literally Google Map.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of inaccuracies in it when you
Mhm.
look at the PDA to where you are. So like, it's got the icon. So like, I think the animal cell point was 1. The PDA didn't match. What's on the PDA doesn't match what's actually on the ground. So the blue things and that tell you what you're doing and where you are, yes. But like when you actually look at what it says on the PDA to visually what you're on the ground, it doesn't
Yeah.
match up.
JCB's finished.
Is it? All right,
Yeah.
I'll just retrace it. Oh, he's down there, so that's grand. I'm the same side of the field. So.
Mhm. So I've got the tank here. It's already full.
Wait, in there? But if it doesn't work,
Fuck this. Whoa, that was a bump there. Fuck that there a minute. Go and check on the combine. Yeah, he needs emptying. He's stopped. Has he? No, he hasn't. He's going.
See, you missed that with the likes of course plan that tells you
Yeah.
that it'll go up on the screen that he's empty. No, probably would tell you that he's empty and needs emptying, like, but how long does it stay up there and do you actually see it?
Exactly. That's the problem. You don't really look up in that corner very often. Like contracts when it's saying 20% complete, and it's so easy. Or back in the day when great demands came up, it'd be easy to miss them.
Yeah. But at least he should fly through this field anyway, it's nice and small. So he should fly through the mulching on this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say why he stopped, but he didn't want to roll over me.
Hmm.
When I jumped out, because it's a 6-meter implement,
Yeah.
I was stood in front of the implement, so it stopped.
Yeah, I don't want to run you over.
No, they don't run you over, that's what I'm saying. But when you jump out, obviously that's where you land, outside the door. But because it's so like I'm used to doing 3-meter implements,
Mm-hmm.
so that it fits in behind the tractor, so when you jump out of the tractor, it just goes past you.
Yeah. So I'll start up here where he's already mulched.
Yeah, because that first line, so you should be able to do this field down to the grass field.
Yep.
Once he's done that line. Yeah, it's a direct seeder, so we'd be able to seed straight over the grass as well.
More actually there.
Yeah, this tractor's having no issues pulling this up the field. and the hill is up going up the field. So
Good. Go away.
It's just
all right, the bit he missed
Mhm.
is not actually trees there, but I think there was possibly a building or something here at some stage.
There could have been a little.
And I'm wondering, is that what he fucking saw? Because there's trees closer to the field elsewhere. Unless, yeah, because he was going from this direction, so it just seems a strange piece he missed. So I'm wondering, is it something that he saw something remaining of the shed or something? Like there's a bit up there which is a tree, but that bit here, the actual bit he missed, like, is there is no tree behind it, like.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it maybe it's a very dirt thing, so maybe there wasn't, was it a patch that hadn't been planted or something?
Maybe.
Because it's dirt. It's not like it's dirt. So it's, as opposed to being stubble that's not done.
Mm-hmm.
And who planted these last day? Vanessa, she may have had it on drive, or you may have had it on help or hired helper the last day.
I had hired help on that field.
Yes, or you done this so that maybe it wasn't seeded. It could have been just a patch that it missed.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause there was two patches up there that hadn't grown. And I just put it down that it was
But I said, yeah, 'cause it's not stubble. It's like it's not stubble that was missed. It's just dirt, like it's dirt.
so maybe the cedar saw something and lifted up early.
Well, it might be because there is a tree at the side of it, so maybe it just didn't turn properly.
Because I
It
had
can be.
the cedar on there, and after the cedar got so far, almost complete, I got the roller going, and then so I had the fertilizer going while I was harvesting the other field. So I was trying to get all the fields turned around, so all of them was ready to go. And I was like, I don't know how long we have before they will wither. I don't know if we'll have the weekend. It was Wednesday, I think. They came all
Alright.
through. Wednesday or... Yeah, it would have been Wednesday. So I was busy Thursday. Gonna work, pressing B.
Yeah, no, like it looks like it's rolled or something, but it's not. There's no seed grown on or no plants on it, like.
Mm-hmm.
But it has the texture of either rolled or seeded, but unless no, because it would have surely given you a different texture if you had, like, if it was the non-grown stuff that you couldn't harvest. If it maybe it mulched it and mulched it down to dirt, just took the plants out rather than done anything to the texture of the ground.
There was two patches missing up there when I got there.
Well, there was nothing there at all, like.
There was like very few. It could have been weeds.
Yeah, so could have. That's probably what it was. So.
Yeah.
So the mulcher didn't actually miss it. It was just nothing there. It was mulch.
When I went over it with the combine, it didn't give me anything, but it removed it.
It removed this. Yeah, because the combine will harvest the weeds.
Yeah. So it'd have been weeds then. I didn't take a close look at them. I just saw them. And I'm like, yeah. They haven't come all the way through, thinking it was the crop.
Well, that was the bit you thought hadn't grown fully. Yeah, they were probably weeds.
Yeah. Yeah, and this part between the grass field and that field and field 5 is nice and smooth, so it's not bumpy or anything. Get to the end here and then I'll end the stream. It's 10 past 10 already.
So I'm saying this field would be fucking plenty to keep you going for 3 hours, like.
Yeah. Until we get on horse. One will take a few hours. Thank everybody for stopping in and see you Friday.